With a new decade approaching around the corner, we're all looking for that secret weapon to be as productive in 2020 as possible. Well, in this video, I will be covering the method that I use every single day to be as productive as possible. Hey guys, it's Michael Burgess here, aka Mike Burr. I just started the channel and I plan to do more of these productivity videos and even some programming videos. So if you enjoy this, hit like and subscribe. So what is this ultimate method? This method is called time boxing, and in this video we will be talking everything about it, including what it is, how to use it, and stay till the end and I'll give you tips on how to make your time boxing skills even better. So let's get into it. Time boxing is where you take a normal to-do task and instead of doing a little checkbox, you have a time box. So you say, from this time to this time, I'm going to do it. Oftentimes, time boxes are made the day before, so that way you are planning everything as productive as you can instead of being, I don't want to do this right now, and all that junk we tell ourselves. In this start and end time, it helps with the fact that when we're using a to-do list, we're like, oh, what am I going to do next? And it also helps with procrastination problems because it's right there. It says when you're going to do it and when you're going to stop. And time boxing method also goes really well with Parkinson's law, which states that work expands as so to fill the time available for its completion. Now that we know what time boxing is, let's get into how to do it. I find the best way to do time boxing is by using a software calendar, such as Google Calendar. I personally have some problems with Google Calendar. I don't think it's the best for time boxing, but at the moment it's the best we have. The reason I choose software calendars is because you're able to easily select a daily view. While I personally use software to time box, I know that Franklin Covey has a paper alternative. So once you have access to a calendar, the way you start is by placing a box. In my case, it's just clicking. On Google Calendar, you can also click and drag the end of the task to change the ending time of it. Now here's an example of what a full time box calendar might look like. So that's time boxing. It may only take you 5 or so minutes to box out your next day, but you'll be more productive than ever. So now let's get into the tips that I mentioned earlier in the video. Tip number 1, specify your tasks. This is done by making sure you don't generalize what you put down in your title. If you're going to fix a bug in your app, make sure that you say, okay, I'm going to fix this bug and not something very generic like work on app. Tip number 2, visualize the end of your task as a deadline. I do this to help with that little law I mentioned earlier called Parkinson's law. It helps by making sure that you're rushing to finish it by the deadline. Just like how in high school you stayed up past 12 because there was an essay due the next day. Tip number 3, make a task at the end of your day to set up the next day. This really helps if you have notifications on and you want to do this method every single day. By setting this task at the end of your day, when you get to it, you're basically telling yourself, I'm going to do stuff tomorrow. Tip number 4, use the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is where you set a timer and you only focus on a specific task. And upon completing that task, you set a 5 to 15 minute break. And the name Pomodoro comes from the kitchen timer. When I use the Pomodoro technique, I tend to put my phone on silent and I just don't do anything except that task I want to focus on. Tip number 5. For a final tip, it's have a friend try it out with you. Point is that when you're doing something with a friend, whether it be climbing the ranks on League of Legends or learning a language with Duolingo, the chances of you sticking to it is going to be really high. So yeah, that was my video on time boxing. If you liked it, hit like. If you loved it, subscribe. And if you want more, really subscribe. So as a signing off note, guys, stay productive. Bye.